Good day to everyone. Are you ready? Rogue Trader 40k. Devs gave me this Rogue Trader playtest, and this is like 10-15 days earlier than the regular beta. So let's see what it is. Should be all chapters, but the final one. So there's a lot of game time. This music, man. Best music ever. So, what's the version? It seems like it's 0.2.1. It remembers my save files, but I would not. I would go with a new game, okay? See the sound. Now, because I'm not streaming, this is the first time that I've been recording the game and literally talking to myself. And I can't tell if the sound is good or not. That's a big problem. No one can tell me anymore. Stop. To 8. I guess. Let's go. I'm excited as you are. Let's go. By the way, before we start, I have to tell you something. I was at a briefing, Alket's briefing, and there were like, I don't know how many of us during the entire day, around 100, 200 people or so on. Media, streamers, video creators, content creators, everyone was there. And Alket, they decided to make the very first Rogue Trader, and they named him like me. And I am the first Rogue Trader that received the Warrant of Trade. I'm very proud of that. They made me immortal. Now, new game. Difficulty. There's core available. It's not recommended for players not familiar with the Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader system. And they gave difficulty options also. Also, what Dev said is that we should not touch this and that the game is completely unbalanced because it's still very early in beta. So, should we stick to core? Should we go with normal? Like, hell if I know, to be honest. What scenario? Take up the mantle of a rogue trader, a scion of an ancient dynasty of daring privateers that reign over their trade, protectorate, and explore the fringes of the known galaxy. Darkness looms over the bloodline of one Valancius as it faces multiple dangers. From a traitor amongst its ranks to the numerous enemies seeking to destroy the most daring and brave agents of humanity. It's up to you to hold the reins of shattered protectorate and forge a new path for the rogue trader dynasty that finds itself in a vortex of wars, intrigues, calamities, and heresy. The stakes rise as you cross the paths of the most powerful adversaries and rivals that chase their own goals in the darkness of Cronus Expanse. I can't wait to start. Next, we go with core. It doesn't matter that it's unbalanced. I guess they do expect me to play on core if I'm to give a proper feedback. So we're gonna stick with core. We create a custom character. That reminds me a lot on Wrath of the Righteous. This is all new. It wasn't available during the first phase of beta. Now it's available. What's the Darkest Tower? Oh ho ho. Ho ho ho. Create new. Create a rogue trader from the scratch. Appearance. There, tattoo, implants, voice. Ah, we're gonna pick that. Body. More face options than in Diablo 4, man. Definitely more hairstyles than in Diablo 4. At least when we compare betas. Look at this, man. The funniest one. You can play as Zinedine Zidane. Oh, with implants. Frankly, whatever. Eyebrows. Mean. Ay, ay, ay. Beard. Is there beard with implants? That looks similar like the portrait, okay? I'm trying to make a similar character like in a portrait. Scars. No scars. We can have a skull on our forehead. The implants. We won't be able to see most of the implants because of the hair. Yeah, I need to be bold if I'm to see that. No implants. And you can have 2 implants. No implants. Voice.
A new challenge for me. Macro cannons! For the glory of... I'll see you terminated! Something of interest, fit for the fond Valancius annals.
The homeworld. Upon death worlds, the plants, beasts, and sometimes even the environment itself take aggressive and destructive forms inimical to human life. While exceptionally difficult to colonize, many death worlds possess valuable resources that require an outpost or other human presence upon the planet's surface to harvest, and upbringing in such a harsh environment breeds very hardy and resilient examples of a human race. Those tested and found wanting die young. For upgrade during the level up. Void World, High World, Death World. Forge World. Adeptus Mechanicus. Forge World. No description yet. Imperial. Military traditions. One Imperial is melee, the other Imperial is ranged. Forge, Intelligence, Toughness, Tanky Psyker. Forge World characters gain 10% in almost a critical hit chance. Okay. Mage-like builds. Full tank. Forge World. Hive. Work in progress. It's missing content. Work in progress. We won't pick work in progress at all. Let's see what they actually did. And it seems like it's the Death World. Once per combat, when the wounds of Death World character drop below 30, they gain 20 temporary wounds to their maximum wounds. Wounds in the game is life. Don't get confused. There's wounds and injury, or better to say life and injuries. Critical chance. Axis hammers, laser weapons. Tenacity. Ready to maximum wounds. We go with the Death World, because everything else looks like there's gonna be more, of course, and it looks like it's in development. This Death World seems the most finished as far as I can tell. Occupation. Astra Militarium Commander. Ballistics, Perception, Athletics, Medicae. Perception, Medicae, drown them in shots. Friend in need. Shoulder Commissar. Political Officer. You gain additional turns to allies. This is like a full support. This is a full support. Criminal. Smugglers and Renegades. Work in progress. Where it says work in progress, I don't care, I don't pick that. Ministerium Crusader. Clergy. Cleric. Litanies. Shields. Defensive support. Navy officer. Demolition Fellowship. Noble. Work in progress. Work in progress. Psyker. Look at the suit for the Psyker, man. Like it came out of some comic book. Compared to others. And a sanctioned Psyker. Divinator. Oh man, the game's gonna be great once it's fully out. God knows how many options we're gonna have. I'm gonna play as a cleric. We're gonna spread the will of the God Emperor. Triumph. A moment of triumph. Work in progress. Darkest Tower. Work in progress. Careers. Fighter, Leader, Adept, and Soldier. If you pick a fighter, you can become Assassin or a Vanguard. You pick a Leader, you're a Vanguard. You pick Adept, you're Assassin or a Hunter. You pick a soldier, you can only be a hunter. We are playing as a rogue trader and we are a leader. Simple as that. I don't wish to check anything else. We're a leader. And I'll probably pick leader no matter if they give 10 more options. I'll pick a leader on a full game release. Not only now in this playtest. I mean, if you can call it a playtest, developers also said that it's above 80 hours. So this is gonna be a long run. And I can't stream it. I can only record because there is an embargo. But I'll release this the first day when available. It's not forbidden to record. Next. Leader. What does the leader says, by the way? I can't drag this to the bottom, it doesn't accept. And now I can. It's your time. Fellowship, willpower, toughness, weapon skill, and ballistic skill. Persuasion, commerce, coercion, carouse, and lore, imperium. I need to remember all of that. Now, we got 30 points to allocate. It goes 5 points per click. This. Now. What are we gonna go for? Melee or ranged? That's the first thing. Measures a character's muscle and physical power. High strength character values allow to lift heavier objects and punch a foe harder. We're gonna be a melee support. Toughness. Because of the death world, I received -5. Ability to lead this fellowship. Whole world needs to be something else. Right? For the leader. It needs to be Imperium. I'll go with Feudal. But it's work in progress, man. I don't wanna play work in progress. Please. Oh my god. I need to play that. Then it doesn't merge well with the leader. We need fellowship as a leader. Fellowship is persuasion, man. Like, yo. Willpower, intelligence, and strength. Fellowship, agility, toughness. Everything is work in progress. Okay. Well, whatever. I want to pick something, okay, that's gonna merge with a cleric. And that's gonna merge with a leader. But that's impossible. With Ace Fellowship. You can interrogate a captured heretic. Good for a cleric. More fellowship. chainsword. That's the choice. Ship on Valancius fits with the story. I don't want to change the name of the flagship. I would never do that. 1.6 kilometers a long ship. 6 megatons mass. 26,000 crew. Holy shit. Von Valancius' flagship is the oldest and the mightiest void ship belonging to the Von Valancius dynasty. Every system aboard this frigate has been tried and tested in innumerable engagements. Its laser-based weapons and turrets are accurate and hard-hitting. Its plasma drives are rugged and reliable in extreme conditions. Its size and maneuverability fits perfectly to pursue smaller, faster raiders and to hunt countless pirates, xenos, and heretics in the Coron's expanse. More than a few previous Von Valancius rogue traders admitted the stellar performance of this vessel, and with a few minor conversions, flagship served them faithfully. Von Valancius flagship ES supply. Choose a name. This looks great. I can't wait to see what's a Triumph, what's a Darkest Tower, to see more classes and so on, but again, it's very early in beta, and we picked a cleric. Let's go. Smaller headache than in Wrath of the Righteous in character creation, and it went faster, like 15 minutes or so, yeah. I guess there's supposed to be some cinematic intro. The Kunrad Voidweir. An excellent place for contemplation. The man who's approached you is gazing down into the depths of the vast temple on one of the lower decks. One has the best view of the cathedral from here. Mesmerizing, wouldn't you say? Impeccable manifestation of the God Emperor's sublimity. That looks... Choice in dialogue's okay. That looks great for a CRPG, man. Look at this. Look at the details. Yo. How great this game is going to get. That's the only question now. But the details are freaking great. I love it. Truly an awe-inspiring sight. I don't know where to put this. There's gonna be turns on the left. Should be fine here. Oh. I think it's good now. So you can actually see it all. Or I could go down here instead of a picture. Whatever, later. Truly an awe-inspiring sight. The man nods in satisfaction, as if your words have confirmed some thought he had. That's the purpose of all temples to the God Emperor. To inspire awe and reverence. For it is the duty of his servants to persevere in their tireless service until they are presented with a chance to give their very life for the master of humanity. He sighs and turns to you. Hyperlinks. Highlighted words in a dialogue provided. Okay, we know. Allow me to introduce myself, Kunrad Voigtveer, Master of Whispers in the employ of Her Ladyship Rogue Trader Theodora von Valancius. She is alive. This is the very start, it just needs a cinematic. At your service, I have had the pleasure of speaking with you in person before. Voigtveer bows his head and focuses his attention on you. The Venerable Archdeacon, we go with that. My regards, Your Reverence. As far as I'm aware, you are in charge of resource distribution for the Adeptus Ministerum. A rather fortunate coincidence, considering where fate has brought you in the end. He smiles faintly. You're not sure if it's directed at you. I'll be frank with you, you may forget your family name no matter who gave it to you or what its origins are. From the moment you were brought aboard this void ship, your fate changed. You now serve Lord Captain Theodora von Valancius and carry the burden of an heir of this house. Henceforth, you share your dynastic name with Her Ladyship and bear it with honor. Lord Captain, a strange title for Lady Theodora. Why am I aboard this vessel? Why have I been brought here? This title, Master of Whispers. Tell me about the ones on whose ship I have found myself. A strange title for Lady Theodora. Such are the traditions of the Imperium. Lord Captain is the title that was established in the annals of the Lex Imperialis at the time when the first rogue traders entered the God's Emperor's service. And therefore, it is sacrosanct. Codex of Imperium laws. Why am I aboard this vessel? So that you may fulfill your blood duty. Whatever obligations you had before, they're henceforth null and void. By order of the Lord Captain, you've been requisitioned to serve the rogue trader in deeds blessed by the God Emperor. We got the blood of von Valancius dynasty. See that you're shocked. Yes, you understood correctly. Lady Theodora's authority indeed supersedes that of those whom you obeyed before. The Lord Captain's power is so great that she's capable of performing unthinkable feats, such as changing the fate of a servant of the Imperium, your fate. You got a curious title, Master of Whispers. To put it plainly, I'm the head of the network of spies and informers who serve the interests of House von Valancius. I uncover weak links both among Lady Theodora's retinue and in the ranks of her rivals. I eliminate our vulnerabilities and exploit those of others. Tell me about the one on whose ship I found myself. I would rather not discuss the Lord Captain behind her back, especially not on board her ship. No one knows better than I that whispers are wont to attract particularly close attention. Suffices to say that Her Ladyship is the bearer of the sacred warrant of trade, and a woman of immense power and entitlement. However privileged your position may be, as that you do not incur anger by being disrespectful or obtuse. Lady Theodora despises both qualities. You say I'm the one of the rogue trader heirs. There are others. They are, and you will meet them soon enough. Let's see what you want. I come to invite you to a meeting with Lady Theodora. Imagine you have many questions for her patroness, and I'm sure she has just as many questions for you. It is regrettable that you haven't yet had an opportunity to speak. It has been an arduous voyage thus far. Lord Captain and Master Edelhard von Valancius are conversing on the observation platform located in one of the wings of the officer's deck. Let's join them there. I'll accompany you. The journal by the right of blood, follow Kunrad.
Victory awaits.
Oh man, oh man. So we begin. Now we can check everything in detail. Ay, ay, ay. This is impressive. It's literally impressive. I'm going to take like 1 million screenshots. Alright, let's go.
It's about time.
Massive conference table, obviously crafted from real wood. A resource of incredible value aboard a void ship. You see how they value real wood, man. Engines here. Incomprehensible information is displayed on a large screen above the cogitators. You can make out mentions of unfamiliar systems and worlds among the numbers and logisticar symbols. Okay, that's for Mechanicus to deal with. Not my job. We wait for Theodora to die.
I won't tolerate weakness.
Yeah. Music is so bloody good, man. Candlelit altar with a copy of some volume of the Lex Imperialis. Codex of Sacred Laws. Here we go. Cages, bro. Oh, they got attacked. What am I supposed to do as the cleric now?
I'll see you terminated.
You've been ambushed. Start the battle. Turn-based. See if they can kill it. You can inspect enemies. Lacerax. I'll be honest, it's way much smoother than it used to be when the last time I played beta. Like really smoother, man. Look how crazy good it is right now. Smooth, man. That's smooth. Kinda all of this remained the same. That changed drastically. Ooh, we're gonna check this out later. There's a lot. man, I'm a support, I can't do much. 40% chance to hit.
Nothing I can't do.
This is going to be rough.
Absolutely not.
I really love. Okay, Kunrad is also support. Now this is just ideal, man. We're both supports. Kunrad.
Shall not fear. Suits my purposes. All too easy.
Or something hit. Nice. We're just supports. Hey, the team. Kill the rogue trader's pet. Xenobest was her pet. But suspiciously poor timing for such an accident. A wild beast breaks free on the officer's deck at exactly the same moment when the rogue trader and her heirs are gathered here. I blocked all passages between the upper and lower sectors of the residential decks. This is a deliberate attack that should stop the culprits from advancing their plan. I'm afraid I must remain here for Lady Theodora's safety. I have to oversee the execution of these orders personally. I hope you have no difficulty reaching the observation platform on your own. It's just at the end of this corridor. The windows look into the next room, not the outside of the void ship. You cannot make out anything through the cloudy glass, only the weak light filtering through from that side. Even though I like music, I think it's quite loud. I'm not sure, there's no one to tell me if it's loud or not. I usually don't do this, I do not record. A violet alloy, which upon closer examination turns out to be a crafted object. Symbols carved with a primitive tool are visible on the surface. A black shard that resembles obsidian. If you look closely, you discern a strange barely perceptible glow inside the artifact. Massive golden amalgam. The stone on the pedestal is no doubt solid, but its surface shimmers and changes. Hue, as if someone captured a piece of the choppy sea. A strange object that resembles a pelagic coral. Porous surface is pitted. Grey-green crystal with white veins. A low hum can be heard coming from inside.
None shall stand in my way.
There's Lacerax, Janusian. Already killed some of those on a previous beta, we know what they are. Cage from which Theodora's pet escaped.
Victory awaits.
Her pet. They say how it's absolutely safe. Upper decks. Shall we check this? Minutes in. Conviction Imperialis Zeal. Follower Hereticus. Benevolencia. Effects in the career path leader. Belief in the value of human life and freedom. Faith in the power of good will, capable of overcoming the horrors and dangers of the universe without artificial prohibitions. Desire to seek a common language and a compromise instead of uncompromising destruction. Mauling. Hereticus. Devotion to the corruption and taint of the warp, in the form of submission to the basis and darkest impulses of the soul, or as a consistent worship of the ancient gods of the material. Look how candles affect the letters. This is so bloody nice. Imperialis. Belief in the holiness and infallibility of the laws of the Imperium. Adherence to the precepts of the God Emperor and the Holy Chosen Ones, carrying out his will to the unreasonable masses. Hatred to the enemies of mankind, be they traitors, heretics, Xenos, or servants of chaos. I guess I was supposed to go with Imperialis. So you can be evil, you can be good, or you can just serve the God Emperor. Or better to say, this is how I see it. You can be evil, you can be good, and you can be a racist. That's how I see it. Those would be the options: Imperialis, Benevolencia, and Hereticus. Features, spells, skills, and passives that we got in a character creation. Career. Leader career is in progress. Now this is how the skill tree looks like. I like it. I really like it. Oh, it's nice. Yo, it's nice, man. And then you pick out of all of these. Ooh. Ooh, we're gonna see when leveling. Reputation, we got Drusians, Explorators, Kasvalika, Fellowship of the Void, and the Imperial Navy. And the biography. Okay, for now. Anything else? Cargo Manager, we want Valancius. First time we can check the Void ship, I mean the Flagship, and its upgrades. Pattern 2A engine. 11 starship speed along with strong acceleration and braking. 60 points of protection for each sector. Starship weapons with targeting data, granted 80% hit chance, 10% crit chance. Negate 4 points of damage. Long range lance, 50 damage flat. Torpedoes. Macro cannons. Again, macro cannons on the other side. On a starboard. And on a port, macro cannons. Okay. You can upgrade the hull. I already upgraded the hull. What? With scrap? You can upgrade the RAM. How many times can I do this? No, it's 60. Okay. I got speed, inertia, damage reduction, shields, weapons, armor. Jesus, you can level up the flagship. Holy, there's a swing run torpedo control. A warp wave. Gain extra range. Immediately turn an enemy. U-turn. Yeah, turn enemy and U-turn. We know how that works from the previous beta, thank God, so I don't even have to ask what it does. I know what it does. Apply. Voice ship manager system is unavailable. This would be all the quests. Enemies: Eldari, Archaeotech, Astronomica, Nasuriani, Chaos, Craftworld, Drukari, Psychers, Warps, Webways, and Venus. Map. By the right of blood quests. Character and the inventory. The game is actually 10 times smoother than it used to be. I love it. For now. Now let's see what do we got here. What's that?
It's about time.
You can check how the ship looks like. That's an elevator.
I won't tolerate weakness.
That's as max as we can go. Servitors. How big is the ship, man? Look at the scale of this. Yo. A monument dedicated to the one Valancius dynasty's acquisition of the Warrant of Trade, a symbol of the power and special role of the rogue trader in the service of the Imperium. Ship is nearly 2 kilometers long. With multiple levels. There's Theodora. Edeltrath. Simply rational Lady Theodora. Assimilation into the trade structure would be political and economic suicide, practically an admission of heresy. Then suggest an alternative that will satisfy me. I describe the situation no worse than my seneschal could have done. Make a decision. What will you do with Ion 6, Edeltrath? Survey the room. I'm here to speak with the Lord Captain. Listen in silence. Survey the room. Your first impression of Edeltrath, who appears to be about 30 years old, is of parchment-like skin stretched over a tightly bundled mass of sinew, implants, and a bone. The nervously twitching fingers, the face twisted by a slight tic, and the jerky movements are all signs of some illness or defect that has taken over his physical form. In stark contrast to Edeltrath, Theodora von Valancius' features appear as if they were carved from marble, eternal and indestructible. Head raised high, proud posture, hands clasped casually behind her back. Everything seems to emphasize the difference in status between her and Edeltrath. Behind the two of them you see two more men. One is a grey-haired officer of impeccable bearing who is studying the contents of his data slate. The other is a behemoth bristling with holsters and baldricks containing all manner of weapons. Our second candidate has joined us. The dry female voice and the powerful feeling of being watched force you to look at Theodora. The rogue trader is looking straight at you, and her gaze, like herself, is predatory and oppressive. Approach and give me your answer. Passive skill checks. Consider the hypothetical situation. Aeon 6, a new world on the fringes of the Coronus Expanse. High seismic activity, regular magma eruptions, metamorphic rock deposits, prospects for large-scale mining. The world is populated by natives who worship some heretical underworld spirits that protect those who offer them sacrifices. Flights of fancy, you might say, but attempts to install ore extractors have failed for the second time. The mining crews sent to the planet's surface simply vanished overnight. My question to you is, what would you do with this poisoned treasure? Those spirits could well be the natives' name for dangerous aliens. I would first verify if that is indeed the case and the population of Aeon 6 engages in the Xeno worship. There are ways to confirm whether what is happening on Aeon 6 is witchcraft or not. It might cost several psychers to do so, but it will give us the answer. The natives of Aeon 6 are lost souls in need of shepherd's crook or a whip. I'm a priest of ecclesiarchy. I know how to instill reverence for the Emperor. There are many ways. These reports of spirits certainly sound like evidence of heresy. However, I would put my interest first, no matter what means I would have to use. The riches of Aeon 6 would be mine. Aeon 6 must be purged. For the good of the Imperium, I shall exterminate the heretical beliefs and otherworldly powers that rule the native apostates. I do not know. Those spirits could well be the natives' name for dangerous aliens. I would first verify if that is indeed the case and if the population of Aeon 6 engages in Xeno worship. Reasonable and prudent, however, chasing after ethereal creatures may prove a rather long and fruitless endeavor. Apart from Xenos, an untrodden planet might be teeming with myriad horrors that are far more dangerous and difficult to eradicate. I suspect that you are simply unaware of their existence. I gave a straight answer to a simple question, which, as I understand, was still more than you could do. With both servants of the God Emperor and Lady Theodora, does it become anyone of status to engage in petty feuds? I find your tone most disagreeable. You will kindly alter the manner in which you address me, or else you will live to regret the consequences. I find your company disagreeable, and yet I'm forced to endure such. I believe I gave you an assignment on the ship. Explain to me then why my senior congregator is still dawdling about the officer's deck instead of proceeding to the middle decks to commence the inspection of the compartments in his purview. I beg your forgiveness, Theodora. Your presence has such a profound effect on me that I won't forget the time. He bows and he's out. So why are you here? Was it not you who sent for me? You have seeded the opening that was offered to you and displayed woeful meekness, even for one of inferior rank. Admittedly, this affliction is equally strong in all who are inured to existence in the grip of the Imperium. Immutable hierarchy, absolute obedience, lickspitlery, compulsion to please, forget all of that. From the moment my envoys came for you, the old rules ceased to matter. My name is Theodora von Valancius Massimo Avscarus. I'm a rogue trader in the service of the God Emperor of humanity, and my rights and freedoms are vindicated by a most sacred relic, the Warrant of Trade, kept aboard this very vessel. Mine is the honor to venture into the darkness beyond the Imperium and carry humanity's light, where powers wicked and heretical reign, and both death and ruin to us all. It is my decision alone to determine the fate of whatever I find past the bounds of the explored void. Every world I discover, along with all there is to find their own resources, people, riches, and mysteries, is mine by right. I command millions of lives, rule over numerous planets, and possess fortunes that no planetary governor or commander could dream of amassing. And you are someone with the von Valancius blood in their veins and a rightful claim to this inheritance when the hour comes. One off, does this mean there are others? Naturally, some have yet to arrive on board. You have the pleasure of meeting one of them. Edeltrad may be somewhat disconcerted by the scale of the responsibilities that may potentially fall upon his shoulders. However, I have a good feeling about him as a candidate. If you're satisfied with Edeltrad, then what sense is there in having this conversation? Why are you wasting your time on me? Impatience. I'm rather fond of impatient people. They're not as quick to resign themselves to circumstance and more eager to show initiative. Even if I do choose Edeltrad as my successor, I will still require loyal advisors. The skills and knowledge you acquired in your former life may prove invaluable here in the Coronis Expanse. A priest of Adeptus Ministerum, I never would have thought that someone of my house would become one. Spare me the recital of your dogmas on humility and service. I'm well aware that the ecclesiarchy is no less versed in manners of logistics than the hair splitters from the administrate. When your commercial interests are hidden behind a facade of concern for humanity's souls, any action you take will raise far fewer questions than it would otherwise. I'm ready to take on this sacred purpose. You would be, wouldn't you? The question is, am I ready to choose you over the rest? You came aboard hours before the warp jump, and have not yet distinguished yourself in any way. As things currently stand, I doubt that you are suitable for the role of rogue trader. Blood right alone is not enough to earn the honor of becoming the bearer of warrant of trade. Nonetheless, your abilities and talents may yet prove useful. If not for the role of Lord Captain, then for that of their closest ally. Alas, even these responsibilities can at times be too challenging for those who share your blood. Kunrad Voigtveer served me for many years before he made his mistake. The Master of Whispers is related to you. His kinship to me is most distant, as is yours. Nonetheless, he does bear the name von Valancius, even if he avoids using it publicly, and as such, strictly speaking, can be considered my heir. The door, however, is closed to him. Voigtveer performance in his current role is satisfactory, or it used to be at least. Can I ask my questions now? The vox affixed to the Theodora's attire suddenly comes to life, but all you can hear is an unintelligible noise. Theodora winces, shuts off the transmission, and gives you an imperious nod. I have some time before the navigator gives the signal to initiate a voice ship translation out of the warp, and my presence is required on the bridge. An incident took place on the officer's deck. A wild beast was roaming free and attacking anyone it ran into. Is that so? I do keep a number of pets native to one of my planets on the officer's deck. Perhaps someone was careless during feeding time. Or it could be the warp playing tricks on us in spite of the Geller field. Or perhaps our possessed ship was in the mood for a lark. She laughs nonchalantly. The grey-haired officer gives the rogue trader a look of cautious disapproval. Abelard is here. Lady Theodora, for the God Emperor's sake, surely you do not intend to start repeating idle rumors spread about by uneducated riffraff. Enough, Abelard. Such hearsay amuses me. Idira eagerly retells me everything she learns from the whispers of her unseen advisors. This ship is thousands of years old. It has enough hidden nukes, malfunctioning cogitators, and unused compartments to make ignorant folk speak of specters dwelling inside the bulkheads and plotting against those who yet live. Navigator translation. What are these things you speak of? Sometimes I forget that people without direct access to the ship's bridge may not know the first thing about how a void ship travels between the stars. Vessels such as this one are capable of leaving real space and traversing into the warp, an otherworldly dimension of cruel and unthinkable forces. By entering it under the protection of the Geller field, we shorten the route to our destination, crossing distances that would require hundreds of years in a matter of weeks instead. Sometimes in days or even hours. That is how humanity spread across the galaxy. That is how we were able to build the Imperium, which spans millions of stars. And where is your ship headed? The Rykad system, the domain of a rogue trader Winterscale, one of my peers and rivals. Only 3 rogue traders exist in the Koronus Expanse, and each of them possesses resources comparable to mine. Perhaps you will one day assist House von Valancius in surpassing both of them in affluence and splendor. I set the course for Rykad on the demand for a very specific reason. Perhaps I shall yet appraise you of the purpose for this voyage, but now is not the time. And what are my current responsibilities? Observe, learn, absorb. It will take time for you to find your bearings aboard this vessel and in your new position. Eventually I will find a post that suits you, as I did for Edeltrath. Until that time comes, consider yourself my aide. Okay. In that case, I shall head to Theodora Vox awakens once more. This time you pick up shouting. The Lord Captain freezes, listening to the Vox cast. Then nods and draws her weapon. Disturbance is reported in the ejected decks. Seneschal. Here the need arises, protect the new blood. It is possible that the chance to prove your worth may present itself sooner than you may have anticipated. What are these rebels? Damn it.
And you'll die quickly.
You've been ambushed and the battle begins. Theodora plays first, of course. Huge initiative. Abelard.
I took care of this one. Reduced to dust.
Damn it, Abelard. Who's this?
Die.
Melt a scorching. Heretics.
You'll regret this.
Aye, come on. Leave me be, I'm a support. An unprecise support, a melee one without a melee weapon. They should give you a melee weapon too. Start.
Not a problem for me.
I can't buff them up. I can't do anything.
Nothing I can't do. Opposing me was your
Oh, I scored a kill. The game is way much smoother than it used to be. And you can speed it up, which is also great. What needs to be done are animations. Especially for melee combat, melee animations.
already done.
Of course, it's a miss. What did I expect? Theodora! Do something, Theodora! Okay, Theodora, go Abelard. I'm a leader, I cheer from behind. Ish.
To the heretics.
Ish. He burned the heretics. And now the army arrives. Mort, take a team with you and clear a path to the transport line. Did not let a single horse-son survive. She turns her eyes to you. Didn't bat an eye when that scum burst onto the deck. Not bad. I've seen many an officer who panicked at the sight of combat on the upper decks. The false sense of security makes them that much more susceptible to the harsh realities of the warp transitions. The incident with the beast on the officer's deck may be connected to what is transpiring now. Possibly, quite likely. We'll investigate at a later time. Right now we need to isolate the affected compartments and try to assess the situation. What are your orders? Mort has gone on ahead to clear a path for us. If you want to make yourself useful, go after him. And see if the Arch-Militant requires aid. And be quick about it. Find the Arch-Militant. Can I loot? Didn't left a thing. I can't speak with Abelard. Oh, imagine when they had voice acting. And I can actually chill out a bit, then listen to the conversation instead of reading them.
Follow my lead.
A breakthrough. What are you doing here, Melly? What are you doing? Holy shit, it's a war here.
I'll lay claim to the star.
I guess it's a big no-no. That means you shall not pass. Yeah. What are you shooting with, man? Plasma? Thank Providence you're alive and well, Voidbeer. Always on time, Kunrad. The moment we finish chasing the riffraff around the deck, you show up. Always just after the fighting's done. You could set your chrono by it. Pull yourself together, Mort. What did the Lord Captain send you to chivvy us along? We're all done here. I'll report right away. I love this cinematic approach, okay? It looks very nice. Theodora, Master of Whispers, what is happening on my ship? The locksmith is silent, the boxmaster is not responding. Armed assailants have stormed the officer's deck and my arch-militant just destroyed several more heretics on the way here. Is this a severe case of warp madness? Has some of my crew lost their minds and forgotten who they are and whom they serve? Report. I've not yet received word from the Engineerium regarding any Geller field failures, but communications were already unstable half an hour ago, and now they ceased altogether. Whatever the cause may be, the consequences are spreading fast. I'm receiving scattered reports from the middle decks, and the only voxcasts from the lower bays are one-way heretical gibberish. That the madmen have already reached the officer's deck suggests that this outrage was planned in advance. Perhaps this is an organized mutiny. Who would attempt a mutiny here in the warp? We must provide immediate assistance to those that are still on the middle decks. Perhaps then we might stop this wave from spreading. First, we have to confirm that the bridge and the navigator's sanctum are secure. I have the means to do both things at once. Edeltrad, where is he? I must know if he's unarmed. A psyker aboard a ship that is potentially being assailed by warp could pose a greater threat to himself and others than a whole army of madmen with improvised weapons. I tried to locate him. The last thing known about his movements is that he arrived on transitional deck 18. Blasted. Master of Whispers, find Edeltrad immediate, Seneschal locate Plus, and the Sister of Battle. Sister of Battle is Argent. Seneschal is Abelard. Both are to remain at my side, arch-militant with me. I must go to my study, and it appears that we might encounter heretics along the way. You? If I may, Lord Captain, traditional deck 18 is at the heart of disturbance, and if our goal is to bring Edeltrad back, I could use some support. After all, I'm not as adept at directly confronting enemies in the house of the esteemed arch-militant. Find Edeltrad. Then it's settled. Find Edeltrad and return here. This elevate leads to the restricted compartments, such as my personal chambers and the bridge. Did not let me down. I require you both. Do you understand? I'll do everything in my power. Not everything in your power. You will do as I say. I'll have your heads if you fail. Is that clear? Then move out. You're gonna end up dead soon, Theodora. Ready to head to 18. It's a long walk, and you not even have a proper gear. I have a proposition. Since I'm the more important person here, you can go in front to shield me from potential threats. You'd better not fail me. The Lord Captain made it clear that relying on you is fraught with risk. I see you have quickly earned Lady Theodora's trust if she's already sharing her closely guarded secrets with you. That is no longer relevant. With a pop and a sharp crackle, something hits you in the abdomen, and you are consumed by unbearable gut-wrenching pain. You little shit. What the fuck? Time to fulfill your destiny. Well, that started fucking well. No man. It was unexpected, to be honest. This was all first part of the intro and the very first bigger load screen, so it took a bit more than an hour now. Nice intro, I liked it. Nothing bad to say about it. Careful, careful, be gentle with our guest. He has an important mission to complete during our visit to the Warrant chamber. And for that I need him breathing. You're back with us, I see. Delightful. Voidweir, you two-faced scum. How perceptive of you. I'll help you with the next insight. I need you here for your blood. You have the option to share it voluntarily, or I will squeeze it out of you myself. We're in the atrium of the Warrant chamber, this void ship's most hallowed vault. There, beyond those gates, lies the relic that gives Theodora all of her power, the sacred Warrant of Trade. Only one obstacle remains on my path to obtaining it. The gates of the chamber are guarded by the Sentinel, an ancient device that will only open the door to a true heir of the dynasty. I expected to do this part myself, but never mind. You will offer your blood to the Sentinel. What is it, inbreed? Is your blood too thin for the Sentinel? On the contrary, The Warb's blessing has raised me too much above your kind, Von Valancius. The Sentinel refused to submit to me. But you can help after all. Isn't that what family is for? I got no intention of helping you. I'm afraid that you have no choice in the matter. Try to resist and I will demonstrate the power that the warp holds over mortals. Think of it, I might even take some pleasure in doing so. To the void with you. Skill checks in dialogues. The blade flashes in a dim light and drops of blood appear on your palm. For a brief moment you feel nauseous, your head is spinning, and then quiet whispers begin to flood your mind. More and more sourceless voices echo each other, drowning out your own thoughts, replacing them with a singular urge. Go to the gate, go to the gate, go to the gate, fight the voice in your head. Get out, I'm not your puppet. The voices in your head persist in their demands, and yet you feel this unseen chorus momentarily waver under the strength of your resolve, until the intruding influence forces you to your feet and pushes you towards the gates looming in the center of the chamber. You're about to see the warrant of trade for the very first time. I mean, I already seen it, but you will see the warrant of trade for the very first time. In the gateway arch, you see a cogitator with a human likeness built into the front panel. By the way, that room is freaking epic, how great it looks like. One of the best parts in the game. As you approach, the metal skeleton twitches slightly. This is a servitor, an obedient automaton created from a lobotomized human being. The sentinel turns its head to you. One of its black eyes sockets lighting up with two ember-like irises. Examine the device with tech. Of course, it's a fail. The servitor on the gate begins to move. With a screeching and groaning of metal, it leans forward, closer to you. Its lower jaw opens with a drawn-out shriek, much wider than the jaw of a living human could. The servitor's mouth is filled with sharp metallic fangs that glint in the dim light. The windscreen to the right of you lights up, showing strings of mysterious symbols on a green background. A whisper runs through your consciousness, insisting, demanding sacrifice. The voices that filled your head after Voidbeater wounded you with his blade did not go away. On the contrary, their source coiled itself into a tight knot somewhere in the depths of your mind. Examine the sentinel. One can usually tell by looking at the servitor that it was made from a human body, but this one seems to be entirely metallic. His thick shell likely conceals bones wrapped in the remnants of musculature, the unseen frame that allows the sentinel to move. Look for anything that could be used as a weapon. You look around in hopes of finding at least something that could work as a weapon. Your search is in vain. The chamber atrium is completely empty and in perfect working condition. Look back. Did you forget something? Suggest you place your hand to the sentinel's mouth. The sentinel jaws clamp around your hand, puncturing your skin and sinking into your flesh. A few dark drops fall into the servitor's throat, and immediately you hear humming as the servo motors start up and pump stir into motion. The vidscreen of the cogitator flickers. Several long minutes pass. The sentinel jaws remain closed, and you're beginning to feel sick. Perhaps if you were to lean against the gate, you could catch your breath, maybe even close your eyes and pretend none of this ever happened. High levels of caustic humors. The subject is in state of heightened stress. You require assistance. You do not understand where this quiet voice is coming from, acting like static. Is it the sentinel, the cogitator? Is it a figment of your very mind? Whichever it is, you can clearly hear every word. Do you require assistance? Who's this? Genetic code identified. Child of House 1 Valancius. Do you require assistance? Speakers are built in the sentinel shields. You hear a displeased grunt in your mind as if the lurking entity had sensed something that is not its like. That's fucking assistance. He escaped. And I'm to check the warrant alone. Check the warrant chamber. Here we go, the most epic area. Where I, out of all people, became the first rogue trader to receive the warrant of trade. On this very spot. Look at it! It looks amazing, eh? Look at the size of the warrant, man. Ah. Let it be known that by my will and by the true words of this document I appoint this person. Ah, that goes way too fast, it needs to be slower. To be the paragon. Holy shit, it goes fast. It is the oath, but it goes fast. Slow it down. Please, for the full release, slow it down. It is the oath, but who on earth can read this? Voxcall, escort the child of the house to safety. What madness is happening here? Who are you? Who addresses me? Temporary obnulation following acute stress. Mobile unit of the Warrant Sentinel standing by. Are you the Warrant Sentinel? Mobile unit of the Warrant Sentinel designed as a personal escort of the child of the house and means of communicating with the rogue trader subjects. Mobile unit standing by. We got our Voxcall. Personal Voxcall. I need a weapon. Distance from the current location to the nearest arsenal. Initiating situational calculations. The servo skull will not answer you. Lead me away. Middle and upper decks assuming the probability of safe placement in areas of concentration of armed units calculating. To prevent unauthorized units from breaching the warrant chamber. Preemptive sealing is advised. We got our servo skull. Can I check that? Oh. Let me know that my will and my true words of this document appoint this person to be the bearer of the warrant of trade and bestow upon. Holy fuck, it goes way too fast. I get it, but it goes way too fast. Can I read in the... No, I can't. Let it be known that by my will and by true words of this document I appoint this person to be the bearer of the warrant of trade and bestow upon them and their dynasty the great mission. To be the paragon of humanity unbroken by adversity, to walk bravely first into darkness, to unite and reclaim what was lost. To triumph over nightmares untold, to hold boldly the reins of fate. To walk steadily the road of thorns, through pain, to greatness.
A new challenge for me?
Enormous gates. Made out of heavy metal. Seal the chamber. There's Abelard. He came for us. Seneschal Abelard Verserian has lost some of his former polish. His forehead is sweating and he armored up. And one of the sleeves of his coat is torn and soaked through with blood. Nonetheless, despite his heavy breathing, he stands firm and his gaze is demanding, albeit somewhat surprised. Whatever are you doing in the Warren chamber? How did you? Throne preserve me. What is the meaning of this? Kunrad Wojtyvir is a traitor. When we parted ways on the officer's deck, he stunned me somehow and brought me here. What? He intended to take revenge of Theodora for an old grudge and become the rogue trader himself. He spoke about defiling the warrant with some ritual and serving the gods of the warp. Serving gods of the warp. Kunrad is a heretic. Oh, Wojtyvir, you void rat. Madness, and this mutiny is likewise his doing, no doubt. Wojtyvir openly admitted that he is the mastermind behind the mutiny. So it would seem, but he's not here, and we have a mutiny to end. Indeed, indeed, that is easier said than done. But seeing one of Lady Theodora's heirs alive inspires at least some degree of optimism. You're in a bad way. I can treat your wounds, have a Medicae. And for the love of the throne, now is not a good time to be walking around the decks without means of self-defense. Stub revolver and a sword. Yay! It begins, I guess. Got it. Equip. Let me play.
I don't have time for this.
Where do you equip this?
Not my specialty.
What was it? I forgot. Am I in a bad state? I'm 21. That's a weird bug. Now we're good.
Absolutely not.
How was it, man? Okay.
I don't have time for this.
What? I don't have buckets, maybe, or what?
I'll pass.
It seems like I can't equip this. Nah, I remember I was equipping these things.
Follow my lead.
Let's save. And what's the mission? And the mutiny. Find Edeltrath. Okay.
Victory awaits.
Bandage wounds. I'm wounded. I got an old wound. It affects 1 out of 5. Use.
Absolutely not.
What do you mean absolutely not?
None shall stand in my way.
Equip.
Not my specialty.
Why? Can't be equipped by this character. Why? Drop.
I won't tolerate
Take
weakness.
it. Why can't I use it? I don't have Medicae. Or it's bugged. It could be bugged. Let me quick load and see how fast it goes with a quick load. There it goes. It's not that fast. What a flying fuck. This is ship upgrades. I got a grenade that I...
Time for this.
Now why I can't use or equip this? What happens?
What advice do you seek?
They say a little bit of humility never hurt anyone. I help others.
Can Abelard use this?
by wholeheartedly humiliating them at every step.
Can you heal me, Abelard? Where are
Your
you?
seneschal is always there. Someone else can do this.
They still needs to get fixed, okay? When you click on a medkit, you click on a character. If I'm here, if I wanna heal, he should run and heal, not me dragging over here and then clicking on heal.
This wound will make a fine scar.
Thank you. Now where were we?
A noticeable improvement. Now you're prepared for the trials ahead. The lower decks are teeming with heretics instigating the rebel to revolt, but that's the least of our problems. The ship enforcers are rounding up the scoundrels and suppressing the resistance. The situation on the middle decks is much worse, although strike teams have already been dispatched there. All communication with the bridge and the engineering bay was lost. So, apart from the scattered voxcasts, we have no information. But that is not the worst of it all. All these jolts and shaking are most alarming. These are signs that the navigator and the master helmsman are having difficulty translating the ship out of the warp and into real space. In the worst case, they already lost control of the process and we all have precious few moments left to live. In the best case, if we manage to reach the navigator's sanctum and get a handle on the situation, some aboard this vessel may yet survive. What exactly has gone wrong with the translation? I'm no helmsman, or God Emperor preserve me navigator. However, I have spent my entire life aboard voice ships, equipped with warp drives. And I know that portents such as these do not bode well. It could be that the Geller field has faltered. Perhaps the navigator was struck down by warp corruption and is fighting for the last shreds of his humanity as we speak. If we get thrown, of course, we will be forever lost in the warp. Naturally, we will not have long to live in that scenario. But even so, I do not intend to resign myself to such an outcome just yet. How did you find me? You sent me a vox message, specifically a vox cast on the officer's frequency, which I had the good fortune to receive. Do you mean to say you did not do no such thing? I think the WARRANT sentinel may have sent the message. It appeared when I opened the chamber. WARRANT sentinel. He looks the servo skull floating next to you. The Lord Captain barely ever ventures down the chamber. And I was at her side only once or twice when she did, and I did not see anything of the sort. The WARRANT chamber is an ancient and rather sacred mechanism that the ship's tech priests treat with utmost reverence. I assume that whatever it is that you did, you must have activated certain processes and caused the sentinel to awake. But then why did none of it happen when Lady Theodora did the same? He frowns. Because we are pure blood. Theodora is vexed. What can we expect to find in the Navigator's Sanctum? During warp transit, the Sanctum is closed to all who are not involved in the course charting process. And for good reason. For the Navigator to open their third eye and perceive the way, the Sanctum has to be baited in the energies of the Immaterium. Only a Navigator can withstand such an ordeal. For the rest of us, any contact with a warp is fraught with perils such as loss of sanity, spontaneous mutations, and death. I heard one of Theodora's voxcasts. Lady Theodora's, which one? The last one I received was about the Navigator's Sanctum, and that was a good while ago. In any case, let us hope that the Lord Captain is well and safely in charge of the ship's defense. In the meantime, we must do all we can to prevent the ship from veering off course. Lead the way, Navigator. Sanctum Seneschal. Let us proceed. A voxcall, Theodora words, ring with noise, to arms, loyal sons and daughters of the God Emperor, fight the heresy and corruption that threatens to consume our home, and with all your might destroy those who have dared. The Lord Captain is calling her crew to battle, which means the Vox networks are set up broadcast transmission, not message exchange. Splendid. While the rogue trader inspires proper resolve to fight in her subjects, you and I shall prove that her trust in us is well deserved. Onward.
Run, fools, or fall!
0 round. You cannot attack or take actions. But you can reallocate. And they're all melees. Start the battle. I hope I can play first. I know about action points. Leave me be. I play first. Movement points. Force of command.
All too easy. I don't have time for this.
Okay, I get it. I killed him. I did. Freaking heretics.
Follow my lead. I will do my duty.
Ooh, okay, there are some animations compared to the previous beta. This is great on a crit. Brace for impact. Be ready. Command go.
Victory is...
Already, I can give them extra attack. Nice.
Not a problem. Nothing of value has been lost.
It's okay with tutorials, come on. Ish. Crit.
My place is at the fore.
Enough. You got it. Take that. I wanna see this Vox Skull voice acted whenever it speaks. I wanna hear it.
A new challenge for me?
Because I guess it's very funny. Red hot from the gunfire.
I'll lay claim to the stars.
Abelard's injured.
It's about time.
Well, leveled up. Okay,
We are the
let's
spearhead of the Imperium.
allow everything looks like. Really nice. Now I'm forced to go with this. And the next one will get characteristics, or better to say attribute points. Forceful Strike. Sworn Enemy. Endure. Taunting. Break the Lines. And a Reckless Strike. You can play him as a tank and you can play him as a bruiser. I'm gonna go with Endure and play him as a tank next. Immediately picking the skill. We're gonna go with resist toxins, poisons, awareness, disease, other physical ailments, shrug off injury. We're gonna go with athletics. We're gonna pick these now. Skills. Skill checks. Not attributes. Apply. It's done well, I like it. I really like it. Crystal clear. Far less complicated than in Wrath of the Righteous, for sure. Level goes, man, I love it. What we want is... Good question. Increase resolve. Under voice command, they'll begin the next turn with one additional action point with arrow authority. Less than 20 cells around the leader. Moves toward the leader following the shortest possible path. Ooh, you can call them to you, extract them out of the mess. They can traverse for 20 cells, this is nice. Ignore cover. I still don't have anyone that shoots. When enemies are rejected to your ally, the more enemies, the stronger the skill. If it's got a voice of command, it immediately makes an attack of opportunity against a rejected enemy with the lowest remaining wounds. It's like an execute from afar. You use your ally to execute someone. You put a voice of command on them and then you trigger break the ranks. Recover from burn, bleed, toxin, and stun. Target ignores attacks of opportunity. Break the ranks. Here we can go with what? Coercion is intimidation. I'm bad with intimidation and with persuasion. Go with coercion. You can always reset as far as I can tell later on and test different builds, so it doesn't matter that much, to be honest. All I know is that the game looks and plays extremely well. Now why do I got all the ship upgrades with me?
I'm not interested.
Weird.
Follow my lead.
There's the navigator's sanctum. The ship. It seems like the entire first act is on the ship, until we reach the Coronus Expanse. And then the act that I played begins, Act 2, 50-60 hours long act.
None shall stand in my way.
Idira. We got a Psyker. And so he will enter the halls of the blinded guide and witness the radiance of the final dawn through the cracks and fall victim to a whim of fate. Watch your head. Idira, will be too much to ask that you praise your soothsayings plainly for once. That was too close. Sorry, old man, the voices are so loud I can't even hear myself. They shriek, they sing. Oh, how they sing. This is Idira Tlas, personal psyker and diviner of Her Ladyship Theodora von Valancius. I'm not drunk, old man, I'm suffering the effects of the war seeping through these walls. I see the ship's fate, to die in the waves of the Immaterium, fall under the burning rays of the final dawn, and in the roaring blaze I see a figure standing. Who is it? I have no answer. The entity in your consciousness shrinks and crawls, and deeper its claws scraping against the walls of your mind, as if the presence is trying to hide from the seer standing before you. A diviner, are you? The voices from beyond the threshold whisper to me. Sometimes their murmurs are clear. They grant insight. Sometimes they drive me mad, but I'm patient. I know how to listen and discern. But now, with this clamor around me, too many voices, too loud. And you, Theodora's heir, we finally meet. Officer's frequency to all who can hear me. Those with a weapon in their hands are together on the officer's deck at once. I repeat, together on the officer's deck at once and prepare to launch a counterattack. That's Edeltraud. Emperor's Providence, the other heir leaves as well. Quickly we must head to. Not so fast. If we drown into warp, no number of Lady Theodora's heirs will be of use to us anymore. Blessed it, you're right. First we need to deal with what's happening here. How do you know who I am? You think Lady Theodora didn't ask me to peek into the darkness behind the backs of those she sees as her prospective heirs? I've seen you. I've seen the footsteps of your past and the wounds of your heart. The whispers called me, the ones I could make out among all the screams and screeches. Those who are rocking this boat hit us where it hurt. They went after the Navigator, our guide through the warp. Other whispers called me to the Engineerium. But it was too late. I heard the cry of our Master Cog, and the silence that followed. You don't mean the Chief Engine Seer is, yes, dead? Without a doubt. And the voices wail, heralding countless nightmares, cackling at each soul among the hundreds that are now joining the warp. The shriek from the Navigator's sanctum was louder than the rest. And it's better that we save the Navigator than some lever puller from a cooling module or a cook from the middle decks. See if the Navigator is well. No. Nothing is well about him. And you feel the chill crawling on your skin. The eyes watching you. The warp ice has already encased the bulkheads. What follows is calamity. But we're not just going to stand here and take it, are we? The state of things in here suggests the Navigator around. Maybe one who's crippled or at death's door, but still kicking. Since our skin hasn't peeled off our faces just yet, his third eye must be closed. At worst, it's a little roughed up. So what are we mopping around for? Let's go protect the noble mutant while we're still alive.
I am at your service.
Man, you fast. Chill.
I won't tolerate weakness.
Alright, exactly 2 hours of playtime. I started very late. I'll play the entire day tomorrow until I'm all done with this playtest. The game works better than ever. It's very fun. I love this intro and it still lasts. We're gonna be on this ship for the entire chapter 1. And then we're gonna see what's next. I think that's the chapter 2 that we already played like a few months ago. And I'm kinda curious what's gonna happen after that. That's a lot of hours. Okay, if this one lasts like 20 or 30 hours and then you add up the chapter 2, dear god, there's a lot to play. Now imagine with chapter 3 and onwards. Right now, I got nothing bad to say about the game. It's better than it used to be, and I already liked it. So, thanks for watching, and I'll be seeing you back very soon, part 2, after this one.